Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the latest version of 2020 Insight, where we talk about CRM and all things interesting. So we've had quite a busy month here. We've had directions at Madrid, and then we've also had Ian going off to Seattle to the PAC. So we're going to talk about a couple of things that have come out from there that are pertinent and important in our world, the world of CRM. And so I'd like to introduce you to the people that are on this podcast. We are recording it and we're going to put it up on our YouTube channel, and I'll later tell you where you can see that and where you can find that. So anybody that's joining us live, welcome. And if you're listening again later on, well, hope you enjoy it. Hope you've got your cup of tea ready. So first off, I'm going to bring in Ian. If you're there, Ian, you were off in Madrid at Directions earlier this month, and I know some interesting stuff came out about financials.
Yes, good morning, Wendy. And I went to Madrid with Lucy and Chris from Cloud 2020, and I think it's true to say that everyone at Madrid was waiting to hear for some announcements following the similar event that happened in North America about 2 weeks previously. Marco Parisi, who is one of the main lead directors for Dynamics 365 all over, got up and certainly put a lot of fears to bed by confirming that NAV is to continue. The latest version, 2018, will be released on 1st of December 2017, so hey, ahead of time. And that the full software as a service version will be released in the early part of next year. So we're looking at sort of February, March time of next year. That is what is currently codenamed Tenerife. That is where financials is part of and will continue to be part of. So financials not only has a future, but also a very bright future as part of the whole Tenerife piece. Now, what Tenerife is going to be called is still up for discussion and conjecture. We don't yet know, but it will be branded as Dynamics 365. So it'll be a full 365 product released under that same banner. So what we will be seeing is we'll have Dynamics 365 for sales. The marketing one will be released as well earlier next year. We've got obviously field service, project service, and we will have operations, finance and operations, which is what was AX, and NAV will be fitted in there as well. Like I say, the branding and the pricing are still up for discussion, and that was a lot of what was part of the Partner Advisor Council last week in Seattle. So that's all under NDA, so we can't discuss that. But I think it's safe to say there was a lot of discussion, so therefore that's very positive.
Yeah, I think I'm probably not alone, although I'm in the industry, of getting confused by all the different versions of Dynamics 365 that are out there. The CRM aspects, the AX aspects, the NAV aspects, and that some clarity around this would be really useful, because that adds into the confusion, doesn't it, when you're not quite certain which version of what is going to be on sale, what licenses you can buy, and also whether or not they're going to actually be running alongside the old versions, or whether or not they're going to, be superimposed for a while and then one drops away, and where does that leave you if you've had a customization done? So it's a period of a little bit of confusion there. I'm happy that they've allayed it. Previously, they've been interested in financials. What they've been saying to me is that they want to use the Microsoft ecosystem. That's the phrase that they've used. They actually want to run their businesses on the whole range of the great applications that you can run your business on in Microsoft. And it makes sense, really, if you're running Office 365, which now I believe is kind of underneath the Dynamics 365 stack, part of that, and that there's an area of confusion around that as well. What does that mean? Dynamics 365 is a product, but it's also a range of products, isn't it? Would you agree?
Yeah, if I pick up on that, Wendy, I agree entirely. I think what customers love about the way this thing is coming together is that most of them operates out of Outlook. But within Outlook, you can directly access your CRM and you can directly access your finance package seamlessly. That is really, really powerful part of it. And out on the road, and with the new unified front end as well, then the full functionality will be available on people's laptops and tablets and what have you. So this whole thing coming together, and now the fact that really the terms ERP and CRM are disappearing in favour of Dynamics 365. It's basically, what do you need to do to run your business? Fine. Therefore, find a partner who can light up those particular aspects for you and connect them up and make them work. So it really is coming together. And as Lucy says, the exciting thing also is the fact that people will be able to buy into the elements they need. The sales is a classic where we've got customers who aren't necessarily a huge business in terms of numbers, but have a very complex sales requirement. Yeah. So they will need the all-encompassing sales piece. We've got some customers who've got literally hundreds of people on their sales floor, but the sales transaction is easy, straightforward, but needs to be recorded so that the stats can build up and the sales are not lost. They don't need a heavy sales productivity piece, so therefore the more lighter weight version works for them. So it's not necessarily about size, which always was the approach in enterprise and business. It's not about that now. It's about what you'll be able to buy, what you need to run your business efficiently, and I think that's very exciting.
Yeah, I think it seems to me that Microsoft have really they've really begun to understand the dynamic force that a small business is in any country's economy. That if you just that the corporates are not just where the exciting stuff is happening, for a start. Small businesses are where the exciting stuff is happening because it can move relatively quickly and make changes quite quickly. Ask Lucy to reiterate what she was saying about the changes in the licensing, because I think it's too important to miss. So can I hand that over to you, Lucy?
Absolutely. I think, long story short, I was completely agreeing with you around all the confusion that's been going on around what Microsoft have been doing with the Microsoft Dynamics 365 licensing. Mm-hmm. And I think what they really, really have done, which has been really kind of them, is to listen to the partners, not only the full partner channel, but also their customers, and saying, okay, so where did we go wrong? How could we improve how Dynamics 365 is licensed? And so at the back of that, what they've really said is, it doesn't matter which function you're looking to automate or improve using Dynamics 365, we will have an app for that. So whether it be HR or customer service or sales, or indeed obviously financial management and full ERP systems or stock and inventory management, we will have an app for that. And then they've taken that a step further and said, okay, so you need something to help you manage your sales, but to what extent do you need sort of a light touch sales management tool, or indeed something more heavier with a quote ordering system, whatever it might be. Yeah. And so what's wonderful about that is that no matter what size of the business you are, what they're saying is, let's look at to what extent you want to automate or manage that platform. Yeah. And so it might be that an organization has an incredibly hefty financial requirement. For example, they need to manage inventory and stock and understanding where that stock is and what location it is. But actually, from a sales perspective, they just want to know how many leads they've got. Yes. They can mix and match these new different SKUs. So as Ian said, we don't necessarily know what these are going to be called, but we do know that they will be available. So that's really quite a wonderful feature. And I think one of the other things that's new to the Dynamics 365 stack that does set it apart is that they will have their own Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing, which will give very light touch, ability to send nice looking marketing emails, and generate web forms, and even do a little bit of LinkedIn campaign tracking.
Yeah, that functionality can be life-changing for a small business. To have access to the ability to create something that looks as good as their competitors who might be, hiring in marketing people is, a wonderful opportunity to have in your in-house, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think followers of the 2020 Insight blog or podcast will know that we are here at Cloud 2020 big ambassadors of ClickDimensions from a marketing perspective, and a large amount of our clients and we know Dynamics 365 users in general are big ambassadors of the tool. But where this marketing app sits slightly differently in the market is that obviously from a cost perspective it will be a lot lower cost and also slight less functionality, but still giving people the ability to do that basic marketing feature from either directly in their CRM or indeed from their finance package, because don't forget, we can mix and match their marketing app with the financials app without the need for a CRM.
Absolutely.
So using that common data service, we can interact no matter what workflow it is that we're doing.
So we're on the cusp really of being able to create a wonderful ecosystem for a small business, which they've always been looking for, where their accounts functionality can be done on the road while they're out and about meeting customers. They can create sales orders and invoices and the purchase orders to go to their own particular suppliers to fulfill that while they've literally just come out of a meeting, and then they can really, before they go in, they can see if that customer actually owes them any money,
Exactly.
And that's really important for a small business. And then on top of that, to be able to access the marketing functionality as well, so that they can begin to target where they want that business to go and how they want to grow as well. It's a great opportunity. It really is.
And I think the phrase that Dave always uses, which really resonates with people, is it provides users with a single pane of glass to get into whatever insight that user needs to do, no matter what their role.
Yes, absolutely.
One of the opportunities it does present, or one of the challenges potentially it could be seen as that it does present, is that traditional providers of Dynamics 365 for sales or CRM, or traditional providers of Dynamics 365 for financials or ERP, are now having to stretch into other areas of knowledge. So someone might come to them for what's traditionally seen as an ERP solution, but they're asking for other services. And so I think this is just definitely highlighting what we've discussed in previous podcasts around the importance of partnering with other organizations.
Yes.
That have experience with delivering those different workflows.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Microsoft has really worked hard on in the last few months to support this is to expand what everyone knows and loves as the app source, where apps can be downloaded straight from the Dynamics 365 marketplace and then put into the CRM or the ERP solution. They've expanded that to provide services.
Okay. I think this might be a cue for me to pass my desktop sharing over to you. Is that right?
Absolutely. So in true Blue Peter fashion, here's one we prepared earlier.
In that case, then I'll stop sharing and hand it over to you, Lucy. Thanks.
Well, so what you should be able to see now is our Cloud 2020 company profile on Microsoft 365 App Source. Brilliant. And so what you'll be able to see as, whether it be a partner that's looking for another solution for one of their customers, or you're a customer yourself, a Dynamics 365 user, you're able to now browse the selection of both companies or providers of apps that can be imported straight onto your platform, or indeed help provide consulting services. So I just wanted to have a brief glance at some of the examples that are available here. Now bear with us, because AppSource is currently only live in the US, so these prices are quoted in dollars.
Yes.
But you can quite quickly see that with a simple glance, there are some really simple solutions that these experts are able to provide with tailored requirements. So for example, you're looking to help send SMS messages through Dynamics 365. Here's a one-day implementation course provided by the text message provider that focuses on these specific industries that can easily be acquired for a one-off fixed price by that expert in that area. You'll also be able to see quite quickly the other services that company provides. So I think this is just really providing partners and customers alike with a simple way of enhancing their platform.
I think it's also a great opportunity for the partners themselves to get on board with this, when that you've got some IP there and you can actually turn that into revenue generation, and that's a great thing. Yes.
Exactly. So just a little plug, if I may, there are a couple of apps available on our own company profile that you'll feel free to go ahead and download as a trial. A particular highlight being the red flag. This is such a simple little feature that can be added to a CRM to provide a sensitivity message against an account, a contact, or even an opportunity that you might be working on.
We found that very useful, haven't we, when there's been certain information that we've wanted everybody to know before they even speak to the customer. So it just brings up a little box at the top of your screen when you access that information that gives you the information, the sensitivity information that you need.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you, do we have any services on the AppSource?
We do. They're just in the process currently of being published, but we
Mm-hmm.
do have a couple of services available. And one of the key services we've chosen to focus on is really around expanding an organisation's ability to market effectively.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the things that we wanted to talk about today is, and I mentioned Click Dimensions earlier, is an event that we're running to promote not only the tool but also the services that we can help provide available from AppSource on that tool.
Oh, it's a very good-looking event there, isn't
it? Just
yeah.
Spot the theme, if you may, Wendy. But,
absolutely.
We've called the event Full Steam Ahead. It's going to be hosted on November the 15th at the Steam Museum in Swindon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's designed for
venue.
it's going to be really good fun. It's designed for either partners, so people that might be offering Dynamics 365 to their customer base, or indeed Dynamics 365 users themselves, to help them get a real deep dive understanding of how Click Dimensions, implemented well with some decent services, might be able to help their business. So as you can see, it's going to help them communicate, learn how to communicate, how they can understand prospects, how they can deliver decent content, and even then structure or sort those contacts by their importance or their lead scoring or how much they've interacted with people.
Mm. That's a really useful session there, and all crammed into a couple of hours. And I think we're providing a networking lunch, so you get the opportunity to talk to whoever has turned up as well. Plus an optional tour of the Steam Museum afterwards, should you be a train enthusiast. I should think that's a wonderful combination for some people out there. I'm really looking forward to the day. I believe that we'll have a representation from Click Dimensions themselves as well.
Absolutely, quite right, Wendy. So we've got Dan Gadd, the UK account manager for Click Dimensions, flying all the way over from sunny Atlanta to help us present the tool.
Yeah.
And I think one of the other things that he's really conscious of and really keen to announce is how Click Dimensions can help with the upcoming GDPR compliance and regulation that's being put in next May.
Yeah.
So he will be on hand to answer any questions people may have. We will also be demonstrating some solutions that Click Dimensions can provide to help assist with that regulation and that compliance that we're all going to have to go against next May.
Yeah, well, I think that's been quite a pressing thing for many people. I know we had a podcast on that last month, and also a blog post, which was a lot of interest in. And can I just take the moment there to plug the blog, which you'll find at blog.cloud2020.co.uk. And obviously, we're going to need to draw this to a close now, because this is just a very short coffee break chat. We would encourage you to contact us. Check out our Twitter. We'll be tweeting this recorded session, putting it up on our YouTube channel, and we'll be tweeting at Cloud 2020 UK later on with some links for that. The next podcast will be the 16th of November, so it'll be the day after we will have done the Full Steam Ahead marketing. So we'll have a lot of things to talk about then, and we hope and look forward to you joining us all for Coffee and CRM Chat. But if you're listening to this later, please do contact us. hello@cloud2020.co.uk. We'd love to hear from you, or in the comments on the YouTube channel. Be great to hear from you. We'd like to know other information that you want from us, or other topics you want covered. I mean, are we enabling you to dispel perhaps any confusion around Dynamics 365 and the new financials things that are coming out, the stack, where CRM fits in your company and the kind of things you can do with it. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Dave. I know you've been sitting there in the background listening to us, and we'll look forward to hearing from you next time. Thank you.